I will call the October 17, 2023 meeting of the Andalusia City Council to order. If you will, stand and join Councilman Mount as he leads us in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
And we pray. As we come before you tonight, remember that God has always been and will always be faithful. We pray He will continue to bless our city, state, and nation. Please lead us in the right direction where our city continues to grow and prosper. We pray that you will show us the way forward. We ask that you give us the strength to do thy will. These things we ask. Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome everyone tonight to our second meeting in October. And remind everyone that we meet on the first and third Tuesdays of each month with the workshop beginning around 5:30 up in the workshop room upstairs. And then the regular council meeting, the official meeting down here downstairs around 6 o'clock in the council chambers. Invite anyone who wants to visit with us or attend our meetings, you're welcome to do so. First item of business before the council tonight is to approve the minutes of our meeting held October the 3rd, 2023.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented for the October the 3rd, 2023 meeting.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Mount. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nix. Any further discussion, questions, or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, please indicate by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And the minutes are approved. Thank you for that. The next item is a resolution 2023-61, reappointing a public education building authority member. That member is Steve Posey, and there are 3 members to the building authority, and they roll off every 2 years. Did I skip something?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
We'll come back.
All right, let's do what I just said, and then we'll come back to what I jumped over. So do we have a motion to reappoint Mr. Posey?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we reappoint Steve Posey to the Public Education Building Authority.
All right, do we have a second?
I second that.
All right, any further discussion, questions, comments, or nominations? Hearing none, please indicate by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same sign. And Mr. Posey is duly reappointed. I skipped over the first item of business, which is a request for our approval of the state of Alabama Alcoholic Beverage Control Board 10 Lounge Retail Liquor License 1 application for Off the Tracks LLC, which will be located at 234 South Cotton Street, Andalusia, Alabama, and this is in the area down around where the old train station depot is. This again is private business coming in and opening a business because we're redoing that property and going to have a beautiful park down there. So the motion is before you to approve that beverage license.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the State of Alabama Alcoholic Beverage Control Board Lounge Retail Liquor Class 1 applications for Off the Tracks LLC.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Mount. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor, I second that motion.
Have a second by Mr. Nix. Any further discussion, questions, or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the resolution, please indicate approving this license. Please indicate by raising your right hand and saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? One opposed? Any abstentions? one abstention. Ayes have it. Thank you for that. This next item is something it's been a while since we've done anything like this. This is to suspend the license of a business here in Andalusia. That business is named Mellow Haze, and it is located on MLK 1102 MLK bypass here in Andalusia. There was a search warrant conducted there by our police department, I think Friday. Is that correct, Chief? Friday. A substance was obtained and sent off to the State Department of Forensic Science. The report has come back showing that the substance in the shop was marijuana. There are also items in the shop that are consistent with other sale of other drugs and carrying on an illegal business there, which is inconsistent with the business license that we issued to this individual, to this LLC. And by the way, there's no LLC recorded in Alabama under this name, even though that's the name that was put on the business license. So under the state law, we have the right to suspend their license or to cancel it upon hearing and a good reason being proved here before the council. So it's up to you, members of the council. We can't do that without giving the folks who run this business the opportunity to come and be heard, tell their side of the story, so to speak. And we have to give them 10 days notice, I believe. So I'm suggesting that we set a hearing at our next council meeting, which will be November the 7th at 6 o'clock. We will have a hearing on this matter, whether or not to suspend this license to Mellow Haze, which is located at the address that I just gave. So my recommendation, members of the council, is to set that hearing for November the 7th at 6 o'clock.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we set the revocation hearing for Mellow Haze, November the 7th at 6 p.m.
All right, heard the motion by Mr. Powell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Griffin. Do we have any further discussion, questions, or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of setting the hearing date on this matter for November the 2nd at 6 o'clock, notice being given to the folks who are running this business, please indicate by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same sign, and that is fixed. The next item is to consider accepting and approving our fiscal year 2023 audit. You saw the audit at our last council meeting. You will recall that Missy Pierce, who is a CPA with Rayburn, Odom, Pierce, and Hayes, PC, reviewed the audit at our last workshop meeting. The firm is issuing the audit with no findings. Now, for those who may not know what that means, no findings is the best audit finding you can get. There's no findings. In other words, there was nothing found improper with our finances by these auditors who took literally weeks to go through and conduct the audit. Ms. Pierce stated that the audit shows the city improved its financial position for the 8th consecutive year. The city increased its net position by $3.5 million in 2022, partially because a strong economy produced an increase of approximately 7% in overall retail sales in the city. There has been a positive net change every year, positive change in our position every year since the year 2013. The auditor said that, not me. I'm reading what they said. The city had a $14.3 million increase in its cash balance, approximately 32% of which is unrestricted. This number is slightly skewed by the proceeds of a bond issue being used for several economic development projects, not all of which have yet been completed or paid for. The city made payments of just more than $4.7 million in its long-term debt during the 2022 fiscal year. The city's program expenses increased by only 4.7% over the previous year. Overall, this is an excellent financial report thanks to the work of the council, thanks for the work that the council puts into the budget and stewardship of the city funds, as well as the work of our department heads and employees do to keep the expenses in line. I would recommend that you approve the fiscal year 2022 audit.
Mr. Mayor, I move to accept and approve the City of Andalusia financial statements for the fiscal year 2022 as prepared and submitted by Rayburn, Odom, Pierce, and Hayes.
Okay, you have heard the motion by Mr. Nix. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Second by Mr. Mount. Any further discussion, questions, or comments? All in favor of approving and accepting the audit for the fiscal year 2022 as previously discussed and described, please indicate by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The same. The audit is accepted and approved. I would add to that that copies of that audit are available to anyone who wants to come up here and look at it. It's a public record, and we are quite proud of it, quite frankly. And I would be happy to sit down and discuss with anyone who has a question about it. And if I can't find the answer, if I don't have the answer, I'll find it for you. But very, very good audit. And this is the third or fourth or fifth year that our audit has just been over the top. So as time goes along, it's getting better. And that's a good sign too. Okay, that is all of the action items I have for the council.
Mr. Mayor, the Bethesda House.
There is one thing that was not on the agenda, and I will take that up right now. Thank you for reminding me. We had a request from Bethesda House for a grant from the city to do work, the good work that they do. Last year, we gave them $35,000. We all know things have gone up, expenses have gone up, and so they've asked us for $40,000 this year. Would we have anyone that would make a motion to award Bethesda House a $40,000 grant? So speak up.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we give an additional $5,000 to come from contingency because I believe there's $35,000 in the outside agency budget that we approved.
Okay, correct. We had approved 35 in the budget. We're adding 5 to that, so to make it 40,000. That 40,000, 35 of which would come from the budgeted portion of our funds. 5,000 would come from our contingency to make a total of 40,000. All right. With that explanation, do we have a second? Have a second by Ms. Griffin. Any further discussion, questions, or comments concerning this matter? All in favor of the $40,000 grant to Bethesda House, please indicate by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, the same sign? And that is approved. That is all the business I have on the agenda. Does any member of the council have anything to bring before the council? Hearing nothing, we stand adjourned.